Well, welcome back to Factorio building the Hyperbase. We've had a few more launches since last time. We are actually back up to the 2.8 sort of science per minute, which just fell because we finished one. Let's just keep that mining productivity rolling over. I've had to fix a couple of issues. Some of them have taken a while to sort of look through, and there's quite a number left to go. This is one of them. The iron was quite often iron 2 was waiting behind iron 1, so I've added a direct access there, so I can come in here directly. I'm finding that, well, like for instance right now, it's lining up and it's not unloading evenly, and so there's a little bit of dregs in these two with all the rest of them gone. And I mean, if the engine's not running at full whack, excuse me, it sits here for a very long time when it actually needs to be doing trips backwards and forwards up here. So we're completely drained of iron up here, and this one is sitting, this is completely empty, the ore at this side, but at this side it's not. Again, only by a very tiny amount, but it's enough. So I need a solution for more even unload here. So that processes more. I mean, we can always put on more of our iron trains as well, which would be these two, and I think I've got another one here by memory. Also, the green circuits, well, they're also loading unevenly, and we get both of them sent even when only one will suffice. But perhaps more importantly, we are constantly running out of lube. You don't want to run out of lube. So the engines are not getting made, even though the rest of the resources are there. There's also uneven loading here, which means purple science. There actually is enough purple science right now, but that's because yellow science is currently the issue, and yellow science is an issue because this is actually working at the moment, but it's probably not producing at a huge rate. Let's just check. Yellow science, it's actually up in the sort of vicinity that it needs to be in, so that's not too bad. But it's very sporadic. I mean, you can see here it's not even producing, and that is because we are missing green circuits, which have just pulled up now, and we're often kind of struggling with red circuits as well. We're not actually getting enough plastic. There is plastic in there. Plastic's just arrived here. Plastic is a little bit slow. It is a little bit slow. When the plastic comes, we normally get this problem solved as well. Not this time though, from the looks of things. And there's another tech. Even these ones they're going through pretty quick. The other issue I have is the space science train, which has 44,000 on it. It actually, you saw it clog this up once. If I hadn't stopped it, it would have clogged it up again because of, we're having throughput issues in terms of these other ones, so they stopped for a while, and then space science was overwhelming it, and I've got no ability to actually control the load unless I do something like, if we have our beacons here, our row of oops, you're probably there, row of beacons there, the lab set back, then this can come in like so to a chest, and then so you could have the lab hard up, but if you did have the lab hard up here, you would only be able to get 10 beacons, I think, because you can't then get beacons up there, so you need the lab further back, which means you have to double up on these things. Where's the lab? Lab. And then you can get a lab there, which is hit by these, and then it can also get hit by a back row. You'd leave a space there, of course, as well. Now, doing this, we can then wire these guys up and take a measurement as to how many of each science we've got, and then that would work fine. So that is the last resort if I can't come up with anything better. I think there's going to be quite a lot of fancy stuff involved. I'm not really sure that I won't end up with that though. Just we're going to have to rip everything up, so maybe it's just as well we only laid down 3, or only using 3. Do I have room? Would it actually make any difference if I could just use the same setup? The only problem I've got with this setup is I can't fit these guys in, and I probably don't actually need as many of these as I've got. That plus the extra inserter everywhere. I don't really like having all those extra inserters. It's basically 360 extra inserters. It's not ideal. Oh, and look, we're just about finished another tech. I am actually tempted to do another worker robot speed for something different. Whoops. But what is it, 64,000, that'll keep it going slightly longer. I think the other thing worth noting is oil does not get to this refinery really at all. It's okay sort of there. Over here you've got a thick, as it comes in, it could actually be better. They've all got modules. Well, those ones are heading up. I could actually have more going here, but I think this is, it's not actually full, is it? These ones aren't even going. Where do they go? Oh, they're the bottom half, so when I get this coal happening, that would happen. Why aren't you going? So I could actually just put some beacons here. Just so these pipes are filled to beyond belief. There we go, that's what I wanted to do. Because what I really want to do is well, let's just see how well that's flowing. It's probably not great. I basically want to put another row of pipes in, we're still getting 0 down here, and there's no way, I mean, if the pumps can't actually pump it all, we should be able to do better. So I think what we'll do is we will collect this one here. We probably already don't have enough pumps on it. Now that is annoying. So basically you need pumps between every 2 of these to get the maximum kind of throughput. Which is kind of silly, but it is what it is. No, it's not what I wanted to do at all. Now, all the ones that are unpowered need power. Whatever. So what's going through these? $100. So that should give us a much better result in terms of this one constantly going. Now the other thing I'm kind of thinking of is maybe I move these beacons down one row just so I've got more room to direct petroleum gas out of here and down, and have it sort of more directly feed rather than relying on these things and pumps. But we do seem to be getting a better flow now, so that's good. I think that fix has probably done what we needed it to. Hopefully that means that this train will fill up a little bit faster too. 35, 36. Well, it's getting probably nothing from this side. And this side, it's fairly meager. Well, then pretty much as soon as it reaches here, it's being swept away. It's not going up too slowly, so I guess we'll leave it at that. So that's kind of the plastic. Hopefully that's enough. How is this one going? 19. See, it stopped already. And the reason is because this one is not full. This one is not full because of green circuits. And we have no green circuits because we need iron ore in here, which we have just had arrive. And that's going to run out of fuel in a while. It's still got 13 rocket fuel left, but it's another thing that we're going to have to sort out pretty soon. Over here we are getting some green circuits built. Where's that one at? 107k, 158k. 68,000. We were doing better than that a while ago, so I'm not quite sure what's going on. There you go, green circuits. Oh, this is called through a copper train. Now hang on, why can't you come through? No path. Oh, the copper's turned itself off. 101k. Yeah, that's kind of my problem. I'm going to have to send the signal from down here, possibly all the way up to here. Because having, mind you, when the trains are splitting their attention between this one and this one, it's probably not going to be quite so bad. I can't even force that down, but this isn't full, so it doesn't help. 19k, okay. Analysis paralysis. I think this fills up to about 48,000. Should see if it is running at capacity for 4.1. I suspect that's slightly below where it should be. And there's a green circuit train gone. Fortunately the other one's ready, but you really can see that this is going to be starved until we change this into green. But we don't actually need this one to run at maximum speed. I really just wanted to make sure. Okay, so that's a plastic delivery. Actually, it still needs the plastic here too. So does that mean we've had lube? No. I mean, the other thing I can do with lube is potentially tap here to make lube. We already have it set up. It's just a matter of, well, I doubt I'd want to pipe. I could pipe it there. It's further than it looks though. The space is huge. Pipe it all this way. It's also a hell of a lot of pipes. Otherwise we could have a little train. It's just where would the thing go? Join this, come over here, join up. Maybe it's not too terrible an idea. You still haven't gone anywhere. Or at least you're making yellow circuits now. At a decent rate, I'll give it that. I'm going to have a drink of my lemonade. We really need a better... I mean, I don't know why, if you can't get to copper unload, you don't just flick to copper. Oh, there is no other copper unload. So that's why you give up. Oh, that should actually be okay though. This is because I was actually thinking that there was another science train behind this one, but there isn't. It's not quite long enough either. So we've got a science train in blue circuits. Stuck waiting on iron. And we've got this need for a solution. Alright, let's try and deal with this need for a solution right here. That's half an episode. Well, we did fix up oil, so we have done something. Where's my plane? It's at the other end. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the starter base. I am going to grab some buffer chests. I think we're making them. With a bit of luck, we're making them. I think it's more or less a straight flight up here. Now I do have some of these as well. I might get a few active providers as well. We don't have anywhere to send the active providers to, but oh, what are we picking up? Oh yeah, okay. So buffer chests. Let's actually get 100. I don't believe I've used any in this game so far. For personal logistics and automated construction. Well, I guess we will see fairly soon if we can use buffer chests to unload into. And if not, we will have to use active providers. Come on, make me a couple more. Here we go. Alright. I really should get rid of this flashing light. It's not really adding value at this point. Okay, here we are at the iron. This train has 5,000 on it, and because of that it won't unload. So what we're going to do is we are going to make all the middle iron chests are going to be buffer chests. Oh, got that one in the wrong place. We're going to have to change all of the requesters to take from buffer chests, which is that. Oh. Hang on a sec, have I wrecked this? You need iron, and you're no longer doing iron. Alright, just to be on the safe side, I'm just going to go into each and every one and turn on request from buffer chests. Which of course is a hell of a lot of machines, but I'm stuffing things up otherwise. And the other thing that I might do is find out where this iron train is having troubles unloading, which is right here, and actually put in a active provider. On those two, which forces it to clear. I don't know where it's taken the stuff. It's basically, oh, there's something way over here that's not particularly good. But it is forcing it to clear. It's really not a good idea. You are not ordering what you should be. That's completely useless for engines. Good grief. Yeah, we might need to do something about that too. Request from buffer chests. Okay, has that helped? Well, yes and no. They'll temporarily help. We really need to see if next time it clears any better, or more evenly at least. The steel possibly needs the same attention. $9.76, yeah. So what we'll do with steel is just put a buffer chest in the middle. I won't worry about putting active providers on that side. We'll try that, see if that makes a difference to the pattern. Let's see what's going on with science. They haven't progressed, they're stuck. So it looks like we've got purple. We're waiting on blue because of iron. We've only just made iron move. So now that one's filling up pretty fast. This one is waiting for this train to come back. I think, yes. And that's forever the problem. Is that the own? No, they both can go to that other one. Check iron evening solution. See if that works. So now that we've got iron here, it's going to be rip and destroy time. So this should be getting up to 4 very fast. I don't know why it is not. Let's just do a max rate calculator again. Again, to see what it thinks should be the case. 4,000. Should be doing 4,000 a minute. Right now it should have all the stuff that it needs. We're getting 3.2. There clearly is an issue somewhere here. It's not the number of bots. It's got to be loading of some product. These guys are not going continuously. Oh, and by the way, I think we've just run out of we're about to run out of iron yet again. In theory, we don't actually need 4,000 a minute. I think science has actually stopped. So, how's this one? This one is still shut because we have 88,000 iron. This iron is trying desperately to fill up. This is only using the inner bit. It's just not really getting taxed. This whole thing is going. Where did your iron train end up? Or has it made a second trip, has it? Yes, it has actually. It looks like you're not even doing anything. You have no request. I can't do it from this range. Alright. That would explain some of our blues problem. We haven't set it up correctly. Let me have a look. So you have a filter. What do you actually need? You need those three. Okay. This one completely missing a request. Yeah, that's better. I guess when you run over it at high speed, it is easier enough for it sometimes not to be caught by the request to chest. Thought I saw one in here somewhere. Right here. So that's 4. Four blue science machines that probably weren't doing anything. Now why have you come to a halt? Because there's no iron again. And you're still stuck. You're still loading. Which is why we probably need more of the mining productivity. That must be the other train. Aha. So we're back to about 900 science. It's not great. You'll notice this number hasn't moved up either, so we've got issues with our launching. Something of a technical challenge. I don't know what we're getting on blue science now. 3.5, 3.6. That's definitely better. Are there any down here that look like they've got the same issue? Doesn't look like it. But once again, completely out of iron. Just does not last very long. Well, this one's off. That's good. And this one. So we're going to get 2 loads of iron in fairly quick succession. It might just pay me to bite the bullet and set up the next one of these. I mean, you can't really test one of these situations unless you fully resource it. I think max rate calculator is something you should be able to trust. Where's the other science train? It's gone from here. So We have one at blue science and one at yellow science. Okay. Has yellow science gotten any better? 31. It's just uneven loading now. But some are completely missing stuff, and again it's because we are missing these things, and they're almost done though, which is nice. We have a tiny bit of lubricant, so that's actually getting made. That's not terrible. And we actually have excessive purple science, so perhaps the lubricant is not actually a problem anymore. At least for now. We should be making purple science faster than we make yellow anyway though, since yellow is at half a facility. It's so annoying when you are exactly, well, you're like 100 or so science short. This is 1,000 short, and we're out of green again. Here we go. Green circuits coming in. So, I mean, the point of watching all of this is to try and work out where we need to tweak to get things to work. Unfortunately, you kind of need to watch it over a long period of time. I'm not sure what else I could do with the space science, except maybe just have a counted delivery. So I allow the arms to swing to each side sort of 30 times. That would roughly be 800 or 810. Well, no, that's not right at all. That's let's get a calculator. Now that one doesn't have one. Max rate calculator has a calculator. Let's just borrow it. So the 27 a second doesn't really matter. It's 12. We want basically, is it 800? Yes, 800 to be delivered divided by 12. 66. So if I allowed the space science arms to swing 66 times every time the train came in, then it would be about the same as a delivery of all the other sciences. So what we could do is only let the space science train in if the other trains have been through all of its circuits, and then allow it to only deliver 66. And then it should sort of keep level pegging. Seems very messy though. A straight out simple circuit would be a lot safer. Where we just count the two chests and stop if the space science amount exceeds whatever its provision is. That might have to be the way we go. I guess my biggest problem with that though is wow, we're still on 900 only. Oh, you're both on blue. should happen pretty quick. How's this doing? We have 77,000 iron. Okay, so there you go. It's taking from the passive requesters first before the buffer chests, so that should help. This thing was full in no time. You can't get up here though. We need more signals. That's another one of our problems. Okay. Where exactly did I leave my ride? Over there. Okay. Whoa. Why are you all the way through? What? You. What was your problem? So, signals. Over here is a bad one. It would seem. So these should be coming through here. This one should be coming down. And that one should be going up. Like so. And this one here is an issue as well. Now suddenly we get a bit of traffic movement. Okay, that's better, at least that's empty. And at least it's using up here, so that's a good start. We still don't have this open. We are at 55,000 iron, so it certainly goes through it fairly quickly. You are only 9.8. So this is the third one. I think what I might do is run up to the science. Good, more iron. For now, I will manually, I think I'll manually release the space science, but first I'll just check that, I mean, it's still over 2,000. These others are so pitiful. Oops. Yeah, it's still over 2,000. There's not actually any reason to let the space science up. I'll get us back up to about 1,900. I'm going to let it go though anyway. because it's only waiting 10 seconds, so it's only got time to drop off sort of a few hundred in each one. I think. Yeah. And at least it will get out of here for a while. $32,000. The 10 seconds should be about, you'd think only about 270 into each one. I do think that's what I set it to, isn't it? 10 seconds, yeah. Kinda seems like it gets more than 270 though. Anyway, that will at least make the fairly long journey up here, where there is quite a lot of science to pick up, and this is waiting on RCUs always, and they're waiting on something. I think they never end up getting plastic because these ones completely run out of plastic before this one gets any, and it wouldn't surprise me if one of our trains up here is completely out of fuel too. Yes, the coal train is completely out of fuel. Not that that actually should be causing a problem, but where was that 174? There. You got all the petroleum in the world. There's no reason you can't pick out coal, and you're just not doing it. I think I told this wait here for 200 seconds. I'm just going to leave it manual up here. Okay. For starters, let's just grab some fuel. So the coal train has some fuel. To catch it on the way back, and let's see what the hell is going on with this one that's filled up to 174. And well, there's one that's only 1.6, so nothing else is doing anything. You've got all the time in the world, but you have no coal. How can that even be, dude? $1.8. Okay, so where's the worst one? 4.0. 174. Wow, you've got nothing. And you. Oh, we knew that was going to happen, didn't we? Oh dear. Let's go back to, oh, I can't even turn the science on. Let's go back to mining productivity research. Oh god, now. So I think I'm obviously under providing for the blue science by just a little bit too much. I don't need your stuff, thanks guys. I'm picking up a whole lot anyway. Oh, my train isn't even here. What's this one called? Main base. Fortunately that oil is actually on this train line, because none of my jets are here either, of course. So we'll take an old-fashioned train ride, and then I think we'll call a fairly less than successful episode. We did get the petroleum moving a little bit faster, and hopefully, I think it also meant the lube is moving a bit faster, which should help. But yeah, there's a lot of tweaking. It's Big Oil 1, I think. Big Oil 1 probably needs our attention. I keep putting it off. What I might actually do is set up Big Oil 2 and then retrofit what I do for Big Oil 2 back to Big Oil 1. I certainly think that Big Oil 1 suffers from the same problem as the oil for Yellow Science, which is an insufficient flow through the pipes to get to the very end of the length of train that we have. If it was a shorter train it would be fine, but not over a 20 wagon train. So yeah, it needs a rethink. I'm thinking right now that the whole put it on to a fluid tanker and move the tanker is actually going to be better for us. So that's what we'll be doing for Big Oil 2, and a complete redesign of the fuel train is probably required as well. Let's see if I can get to my body before it decomposes. There we go. Let's see, where's the other one? There it is. Yeah. Oh, it's all gone to the trash now. Auto trash. Whoops. Maybe that will help. So yeah, along here I think you'd find the same thing. Basically you get to this sort of point and there's absolutely no oil whatsoever, regardless of how much we try and shove in the pipes from over here. And it is pretty full what we're shoving into the pipes. So we need at least one more in parallel pipe if we were to fix this oil. Is this the same or a different? This must be a different train. Anyway, let's see if we're back up to 3 rows at once. No, just 2. And this one's stuck in blue science yet again. So I guess it's fix oil and fix up this. I might actually do some of this off camera. Get another 2 of these going. I think what we set up is... Ooh. We certainly can get through the mining productivity pretty quick at least. I think so. We've got enough for another sort of dual-headed train here, and then I think there's enough for a single-headed train to complete this lot. Maybe we didn't set one up over here, but yeah, I'll complete another 2 here just so that we can flood the blue science that we have with iron. See if that stops the sticking point. But I'll leave you here, guys. Thanks for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you in the next. Bye bye for now.